How to build the Grand Wardrobe. First on is building the small side section. So we start off with the end panel furthest to your right as you're looking towards a wardrobe. Following that, we've got the front door fascia. What we're looking for here is perfect seams along both doors on the base, and that it is also flush on the top. So the middle section goes in. You can distinguish the difference of which side's which. One side here will be completely smooth. That sits against the front door fascia of the small side. Once the dowels are all lined up, so coming around the back side of this now, to level out the back door before it's drilled into place, make sure this part along here in the seam is completely flush and pop a small screw into the back end. Once that's secured, secure the rest of the panel in with the long screws. The front door and the end panel furthest to the right as you're looking at it will now be secure. Once that's secured in, the right side is now free to stand in, and you can open the front door on the small side. Key part of this is keeping the doors and the front and bottom seams level. So by securing the top section as Craig is doing at the moment, he's holding the middle section in place as well as the front door. Place the larger double door section on.
Make sure when you do it, the front door is open so you can make sure the bottom is flush.
What we're looking for here is this bottom seam to be perfect all the way along with an even gap. This should marry up with this bottom door here. The way you correct this is by the front guy coming back and pushing the bottom corner of this with the door open just to see that it marries up with the front door. After this section is flushed, drill the bottom end to keep it level. And that is the left side, the right side, apologies, all secured in place. Now to do the same with the top. This is crucial. The front door fascia of the small side needs to be perfectly level with the two double doors. Whilst holding that in place, the middle section also needs to be held. You can use a clamp to support these two, should you prefer. remove the double doors, and that exposes the small screw holes along the side. To secure this in place, use a small screw in the top and you go all the way down with the screws here now. Following that, this door can now be let go and it will be freestanding. Now the left side can be placed in position, lining up the dowels with the base. And the front doors can be placed. Once again, key point here as well is making sure this bottom seam is perfectly level with the other doors, as that is now fixed in. Once again, back edge needs to be perfectly flushed and drilled in accordingly. The tops can now be fixed in place. No pressure. Once it's fixed in the two top points, you can then run all the long drill bits down the two side channels to fully secure it in. Following this, we'll also need to fix in the front, providing the front seam is all correct, with the smaller screw fixtures. Small screws in the bottom. This is a tester video, so not all screws will be used in this one, but just remember the order of which they get placed. And that can now be released from the front. So the next stage of this process will be placing the back panels on. There is a way of lining up the back panels using this centre seam. Start off with the small side again. Craig. Right, so to make sure this middle beam is level, place the back panel in place. Making sure that this is now flush on the seam here. You can drill in the first bottom side. Now by removing the back panel, you can then expose the other side to be drilled in accordingly as well. Now that back door, the back middle part in is now completely level and squared. back panel is now ready to be screwed in. Also again with small screws. Following this, we can now get the back panel on, the main part. Once again with the small screws, everything should just fall into place. After that's all fixed in, as I say, this is a demo, so not all screws will be used, it's just the main structural screws. The cornice can follow on top. There'll be dowels in the top of this unit for the cornice to follow on top of. Once again, there will be all dowels need to be in. Once the cornice is on, it's small screws again. Always drill the back of the cornice in first before the front. As if you drill the front in first and then the back, it will pull the door fascias out of line. Following this, we can now drill in the remaining top ones.